So there's this post from October 3rd where this Altia, who I guess is one of Keffals' exes, is saying, as the ex-partner in question, I'd like to point out that the falling out was being left homeless by Clara after the swatting, or she lived in a luxury apartment. I was abused and traumatized enough that I let her push me into homelessness. So, I guess Keffals didn't want to share the 100k. Okay. I mean, we don't know the truth of any of this, do we? I get the feeling a lot of it might be he said, she said. Keffals may be being truthful. This person could be terrible, but I'm still going to latch on to every mention of the GoFundMe that's in here. Here are my handwritten notes from 16th of August, recording her verbal abuse. You see, 2 days later, I was discussing medical leave so I could stand by her. A little over a month later, she left me homeless without any help whatsoever. Not sure what any of that says. I guess we'll take her word for it for now. It's contested later. We'll figure it out. Of course, you heard. Well, I mean, also the thing you got to keep in mind there is, like, yeah, maybe a handwritten note, but that doesn't necessarily prove it is from the date, right? It doesn't prove that that's actually what was said. So we'll take her word for it that she didn't just write that for the tweet. Okay, we'll assume that it was written at the time. We're going to assume that. Trust her on that. We don't know, but we don't know about the contents. Okay. Of course, she never heard it. Why would she share that with her audience? Here's Clara saying that I treat her like she's an abuser, but having nothing to say about her calling me abusive names. I can't see what any of this says. Sorry if I sound condescending and hurt you. I really never meant to. We have things we need to get done. We can be bigger than that. You won't even acknowledge what you did to upset me, and you won't let me be. You won't let me decompress. So I got mad. I stopped. I snapped. It's not fair because I was shitty to you. I asked you to stop so I could calm down. I'm a bad person because you don't respect my boundaries, and I despise that. It's just a pattern. I asked not to be woken up. I asked for space. I asked if I can have a meltdown. There's always some excuse to not let me have those boundaries, and then I'm the bad person. I don't like being shitty to you. I just don't ever want to get out of the situation you won't let me move. Okay. It's just arguing over relationship shit. Oh, okay, right. We've got the text here. Too blurry. I'll read it off. Okay. Hi, what's up? I know you don't want to go back to York Street, so I'm thinking of staying the night at my mom's. This isn't healthy, and we need more space. We don't try to talk to each other kindly and do what we meant to do. I'm sorry if I sound condescending. I really never meant to, but we have things we need to get done if we can be bigger than that. Okay, that's what we read. I'm sorry, I really am having a hard time understanding what I did to offend you. To start, I was a little confused about if your name or your position of self-employed would be applicable. Literally was trying to follow the DBT book advice on removing myself from triggering situations. I really never meant anything more than that. I appreciate that. Do you? You treat me like I'm an abuser. Okay, this is too blurry. Maybe we'll just get to this when we get to the Keffals stream, okay? Anyway, we get the idea. This just seems like arguing. It's just fucking standard relationship arguing. After we were doing a rental app, all I did was ask if she should put down self-employed or Twitch for employer. Totally lost on me, dragged me over the coals for trying to wake her up some days after the swatting so we could look for somewhere to live. Not a parasocial relationship. Clara called me up when she was on a coke bender and told me the plan she made to kill herself earlier this year. I was making plans to be at her wedding last year that was supposed to happen before she and that partner had fallen out. The ex-partner in question. Enough kindness. She lost on me because I tried to write down her abusive words so she couldn't deny it later. I mean, anyone who's ever reasonable, bitch, shut up. Terrible abandonment issues. Actually, I see PTSD. I mean, this sounds like Keffals. Obviously, it doesn't say anything to the validity, really. But it does sound like Keffals, doesn't it? Like, you can imagine Keffals saying it. I'm not saying that makes it true. I'm not saying it makes it true at all. But you can just imagine it. Fucking like raspy ass voice. I'm the only one who's ever reasonable. Bitch, shut up. Oh man. Keffals seems kind of regarded IMO. I would get around 80 IQ, dead serious. I think, is it not just medication? I mean, she's not, a fucking genius by any means, but is it not more than medication? It makes her seem kind of fucking retarded. Well, she's on like mad SSRIs, isn't she? She did a video the other day saying it doesn't get better. I'm back on SSRIs. Yeah. Right. Where is... There we go. Alright. We all got 2x Keffals as well because the SSRI drone that she gives is just fucking insufferable.
Hi. Hi. This is hold on a second. Bit Is that better? Okay, cool. I'm just I'm taking the time to figure out how to even go about addressing all of this.
Oh, guys, we're just over half an hour into the stream now. That was a great time to remind you to please like, sub, donate if you can, buy a membership, gift a membership, buy a super chat. Thank you. I can't. What is going on my computer? There we go. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna be okay. But I have to talk about a lot of stuff that I didn't ever want to talk about this. I didn't want to. I didn't
Coin
want to
collection shake on the half hour, you reckon?
Have to make it go public. And my hand got forced. Because if I don't address it, it is going to linger. And it's fucked. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say about it. It's so incredibly fucked up. I put everything together so I can just go from point to point talking
That's
about
our volume. How's that?
Because this is a really it's really hard for me to discuss this. I had nightmares. I didn't sleep.
It's so overwrought already. I've been having nightmares. I can't sleep. Why can't you just let people? I know why they're doing it. They're doing it to manipulate their audience. But the thing, it irritates me. I just want to hear the story. Just explain to me what fucking happened. You can put a little bit of flair on it if you want, but sitting there and giving this whole spiel at the start, where I'm so traumatized. I've been through so much. Oh, I'm having nightmares. I can't sleep. Dude, it's too much. It's too much. Just give me the story, all right? Cut to the chase.
Yeah. I keep seeing people say I think the thumbnail is maybe not the right choice. It's my default thumbnail. If you would like to make a new thumbnail where I can talk about getting raped that is more appropriate for you, go ahead. But I don't give a single shit what the thumbnail is, to be honest. I didn't want this to ever be...
Okay, it's kind of... Fuck Keffals, I hate Keffals. Minor Keffals dub, just on that one point.
Content in the first place. But I need to address it. Because the rumor mill has already started. And unless I put out my side of everything that happened...
I don't think I've ever been to Westminster Abbey,
people are going to just fucking tear me apart. So...
I can remember.
This is so fucked up. You should be allowed to deal with this on your own time. I I wish that was true. I really do wish that was true, but that's not true. I have just been like staring into space the last 2 hours thinking about how I could how to even address all of this. And I'm going to try my best. If I pause at any moment, if I need to like just if I need to take spaces in between what I'm saying in order to get through it all, I hope that you can all have patience with me so I can get through it.
Is that a rapist now, WTF? No, I don't know how it got to this point, but she's responding to her ex, so.
And then
this is 1.7.
Cover all of this.
We'll go to.
All of this information is out there, and I don't need to talk about it again. And I'm just gonna move on with my life because I never wanted to talk about this. I've never talked about this publicly. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just.
What are we doing here? The deep breaths? What is going on?
If this is your first time watching one of these streams, it's not usually like this. This is the hardest thing I think I've ever had to talk about on a live stream. And I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, fuck. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm hoping that now that the stream actually started, if I can sort of get acclimated to it. Talking about this stuff is difficult. So there's someone in fucking YouTube chatters. Why do you need to talk about you are gonna get torn apart for that? No, I'm not. Anyone who tears me apart for this is not someone who's worth listening to. People shit talk me no matter what I do, and I want to tell the truth. I want to be truthful. I want my story to be heard. And I've never. Oh wait, never mind. That person just said this seems very inauthentic. Fuck yourself. You're a piece of shit. You're a fucking weirdo. I didn't want to address. I'm just gonna ignore them. But if any of the mods can deal with YouTube chat, because YouTube chatters are fucking weirdos. But I never wanted to address this. I didn't want to talk about this. And the reason that I have to talk about this is because this is going to become a rumor mill. It's already become a rumor mill, and I need to put everything out there so people know the truth of it before this keeps spreading. And the fact that I haven't put my side out of this yet means that people are only going to hear one side. And that's why I'm addressing it. I'm gonna get into it now. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm gonna start. We'll go through all of this, and then I don't know what happens after. Jesus fucking Christ. This is what I wanted to address.
Okay, so Zerdahul retweeted this. Okay. I mean, I don't support her because her ex came out with claims of abuse and Keffals avoided mentioning allegations at all and let her diehard fans bully her ex in silence, but that's a different story. Okay. She's muted now. Nice one. Troy boy, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is so I hate both these people, so I've got no sides here. This is snake behavior from Zandahor. Just sitting there like, you know, you're in a drama with someone. So you just sort of start sitting there. You're not making any claims yourself, but you'll sit there and signal boost other people just sort of taking pop shots at their personal life, you know. It is snake behavior.
So I'll retweet. I'll repeat what I was saying. Xanderhall retweeted this. A tweet by Sundays. It says, I mean, I don't support her because her ex came out with claims of abuse, and Keffals avoided mentioning the allegations at all, and let her diehard fans bully her ex into silence, but that's a different story. And the reason that I don't talk about my ex is that over the course of several years, my ex mentally, emotionally, and sexually abused me. And I never wanted to talk about it. I have very actively avoided talking about it. I have nightmares about this stuff. This shit is just fucking cruel. And before Zan decided to bring this into our space, the only people who pushed this were tankies and woke scolds, who no one trusts, no one believes in what they have to say, and I never felt like I needed to address it. But when I saw this last night,
okay, Domi,
I realized that I had to address this. Because if I didn't address this, my silence would be read as guilt. So now, I have to go over some of the most fucked up things that have ever happened in my life because Xander Hall wanted to win internet points against me by signal boosting unsubstantiated rumors. How did he learn nothing from what happened with DJ Mule? The reason everyone hated DJ Mule was because DJ Mule was doing abuse apologia. That's why people hated DJ Mule, and this is what this is.
But this is okay. No, why? These people are all just such rancid, fucking dishonest freaks, bro. This is abuse apologia. No, this is literally the opposite of abuse apologia. What's going? Just because Xander Hall thinks that the other person was abused and not you and believes the other side of the story doesn't mean it's a abuse apologia. What's going on here at Xander Hall is retweeting a claim of abuse. Fucking retard. God, I hate these fucking dishonest little freaks, bro. Holy shit.
So, I'm gonna go over all of this. And then unless I'm forced to, I'm never addressing this again. So, Jesus Christ. I'm sure many of you are familiar with who Wop Goblin is. The first time
yeah, you
I
guys
saw
know
all
Wop
of this
Goblin, right?
come out into public was Wop Goblin tweeting, Keffals' former partner, the same one she was with when they were spotted, came out about how Keffals was an abusive partner who pushed them into homelessness. I'm going to go over all of these tweets. There was a follow-up to that.
Bro, she is not getting the Oscar for this one.
More evidence, including handwritten notes and texts, highlighting Keffals' abuse towards her former partner. This all goes back to the Mary Sue article.
She's trying. She's trying for the Oscar. I don't think it's going to pull through.
Called me a white supremacist because I said noodles are tasty. I wish I was making that up, but there are so many people who are hell-bent on taking me down. So this is Blood
ops waiting.
Replies. Blood is a former moderator in my community. And Blood replied.
Oh, wait, this is Blood and Donuts, isn't it? This is the convicted arsonist. Blood and Donuts, the convicted arsonist who records itself doing fentanyl and posts it on Twitter and smoking crack. Average person of gender. On Twitter, sorry. Obviously, we all know. Shout out to the one real cool trans person we all know in real life, right, guys? Shout out to that person who exists. Right.
Blood replied to this. I was one of her longtime mods who ignored so much because we were traumatized by Kiwi freaks. But I think you'd love to know her entire team chose to keep that Discord active while children were being actively doxxed. I was the only one who spoke up, and it led to me being yeeted. This is a lie. Back then, we did an entire risk assessment of the old Discord server. We found that less than 0.3% of users had been doxxed. We instituted a system to keep people out as much as we could.
A risk assessment. Do we, like, even believe this is real? Like, what is the basis for this? What method did they use to do this? Just searching the Discord tag? Because that doesn't necessarily mean that the user hasn't been doxxed. Because there could be an account that's linked. And then that account could have been attached to a real name and address and stuff. So, like, there's just no reason to put any stock in this. We don't know what the method they used was. We don't have any of the evidence for this. It's just words on a screen.
And to protect the community as much as we could. And while this isn't related to most of what I wanted to talk about today, I felt that it was important to address this as well. To just address all of the lies.
Dude, she says important like Andrew Tate does.
Blood continued on the same thread and said, I'm bitter that Clara, a person I considered to be a friend, broke bread with a man who shared our doxing thread to his chat. My tenure as a Keffals mod is the very reason I became and remain an active Kiwi target in the first place. And
I mean, kind of. I'm sure you would have found your way onto the farms eventually, posting videos of yourself doing fentanyl and being a convicted arsonist.
And this is Blood posting a screenshot from the Kiwi Farms.
Oh yeah, F-bombs. We did a bit of name. So I was about to make an anti-Semitic reference there. I'm not gonna make that joke though. But we did talk about the people receiving money from Brianna.
I forgot the name of the app. The app that a lot of Nazis use. Telegram? Telegram. I think it's Telegram. More people use it than just Nazis, but this was from the Kiwi Farms Telegram where Joshua Moon posted Blood saying they spent months on end obsessively talking about us, and I still have intensively violent fantasies about unaliving Joshua Moon as a result. There was a reply to this. What is this supposed to prove? This is just Kiwi Farms complaining about being taken down and then being brought back up again. Just say, I don't like Vosh, and I'm bitter that a streamer that I'm parasocially attached to is friends with him. It's really easy. And I need to remind everyone that to this day, Kiwi Farms hates my fucking guts. This was from a couple days ago. This is Joshua Moon's Twitter account.
Very good reason.
He's active. He's on Twitter. He's tagging me. He is instigating harassment against me. It never ended. It never came to an end. And the only reason I don't talk about it is because even if the site is completely dead forever, they're still going to be around and they will hate me until my dying breath. And I simply want to move on with my life. And bringing up Kiwi Farms as some sort of gotcha is victim blaming. This is where my ex comes in. I need a second. There's so much fucked up stuff that happens that I can't talk about it. I can't. It just makes things worse for me. I can't talk about shit. Okay. So, let's keep going. So Blood said, it's not a parasocial relationship. Clara called me up when she was on a coke bender. And
yeah, there's also the point that, you know, obviously Keffals docs didn't even first appear on KF. It appeared on... Do I want to say the website's name? I won't say the website's name just for people fucking gay about it. But, you know, a website that exclusively is just for doxing, essentially just for doxing and swatting, and that website, yeah.
Told me the plan she was making to kill herself earlier this year. This is true. I did do that. I was scared and I was reaching out to anyone that I thought could help. And she said, I was making plans to be at her wedding last year that was supposed to happen before she and that partner had a falling out. And my ex, Althea, replied, as the ex-partner in question, I'd like to point out that the falling out was being left homeless by Clara after the swatting while she lived in a luxury apartment. I was abused and traumatized enough that I let her push me into homelessness. She lost it on me because I tried to write down her abusive words, so she couldn't deny it later. And Althea wrote, I'm the only one who's ever reasonable, bitch. Shut up. You have terrible abandonment issues. I can't say anything without making you cry.
The thing is that Kiwi Farms wasn't even the sacrificial goat. It was nothing about like it being like, you know, the symbol of it happening. it was just like it was just it is as simple as people don't like these internet creators and celebrities and shit don't like the fact there is a website where people can say whatever they want about them and archive everything they do. It's the same shit that happens with spicy chat, right? There's no actual reason people hate it outside of the fact that they document embarrassing things that these streamers do and mean about them. It's the same. I didn't think Josh Moon was right about this. He said, because he said this in his conversation with Destiny and Turkey Tom. He was like, yeah, even if we removed doxing, people would still come for us. And I thought, no, I think that's bullshit. And Destiny said to him that was bullshit. I thought that was bullshit at the time. I thought, no, you'd probably save yourself all the trouble if you stop doxing. But no, I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that is true in the slightest. I think no matter what, if you've got a place where people can just sort of say whatever they want and archive things about people that have a bit of power or a bit of sway, then they're always going to try and come for it. They're always going to try and come for it. Every time. So I honestly don't think the doxing makes the slightest bit of fucking difference as to why Kiwi Farms got targeted. It makes it a little bit easier to justify attacks. I'll say that. But as far as like people having, you know, the rep and the, yeah, it's just the way it is. It's by its pure nature. What was this F-bombs? Damn, Kuihman, look at all the subs in here, good on you, and like the stream, you fucking degens. Yeah, true, guys. Like the stream, like the stream, like the stream. Thank you, F-bombs.
Then, someone replies to Althea. I would like to see Clara's response to this, because I have never heard about this. I don't want to deny this if this really happened. And Althea responds, of course you never heard about it. Why would she share that with her audience? Here's Clara saying that I treat her like she's an abuser, but having nothing to say about her calling me abusive names. And I'm going to read all of the texts. These are all real. So the blue is Althea. The gray is me. I told her, I know you don't want to go back to York Street, so I'm thinking of staying the night at my mom's. This isn't healthy, we need more space. For reference, York Street is the street that our apartment was on. That was the apartment that got swatted. And Althea responds to this. Can we not just try to talk to each other kindly and do what we meant to do? I'm sorry if I sounded condescending and hurt you. I really never meant to. But we have things we need to get done if we can be bigger than that. And I responded to her. You won't even acknowledge what you did to upset me, and then wouldn't let me decompress when I got mad and I snapped. And it's not fair because I was shitty to you, but I asked you to stop so I could calm down. I'm the bad person here because
why
you don't
does Keffals have like the same accent as Andrew Tate? It's so weird. Like, there's so many just weird little pronunciations that they do exactly the same. Important and fucking her. Like, it's so like weird and uncanny. Listen to it. I just keep hearing flashes of Andrew Tate.
My boundaries, and I despise that. For context, not respecting my boundaries meant waking me up by yanking the blankets off the bed and screaming at me. And it also meant getting into a yelling match with me because I didn't want to have sex. That is what I meant when I said respecting my boundaries. Althea. Althea responded to this. I'm sorry, I really am having a hard time understanding what I did to offend you to start. I was a little confused about if your name or your position of self-employed would be applicable. Yeah, I gotta take a minute. Okay. This is legitimately the hardest thing I have ever had to talk about on stream, and I didn't want to. But I know how these things go, that if I didn't address all of this, and because Xander Hall boosted it, people would ask questions, and if I didn't talk about it and I didn't respond, the rumors would keep circulating. This was after the swatting when we were in a hotel room together. When I said, I know you don't want to go back to York Street, it's because I was begging them not to follow me. Because the people who were swatting me weren't going after my ex, they were going after me. And they would not leave.
Is she winning? If by winning you mean sitting here sobbing. Given the performance of a lifetime.
Okay. I'm gonna be okay.
Okay. I'm gonna be okay.
The ex is apparently aware of the stream now. I don't care. She can...
Why would you even say that in chat?
She can say what she wants. But that's fine. I need to say what actually happened.
Did you get a $500 donation? Is that winning? True, she is winning. Where's my
Okay.
Guys, my life is in danger. I need 100k right now. Guys, my life is in danger. An assault rifle woke me up. There was no one else with it, it was just the assault rifle.
Okay. Jesus Christ. So, I responded to Althea and said, I was literally trying to follow the dialectical behavioral therapy book advice on removing myself from triggering situations. And Althea responds to that, I really never meant anything more than that. I appreciate that. And I respond, do you treat me like I'm an abuser? To which she responds, I was really taken aback. You accused me of condescending when I really never meant to. I think you may not always realize the difference in how we speak to each other.
That's my wiggler. Oh man.
I don't call you names because I believe that's wrong and not healthy. And I think it's a good thing that we should strive not to do that.
We need a wiggler. We need a
This is
wiggler.
also a
Just
lie.
put like an eye. Like just take the whole face off and just put like an eye on it or something. That'd be based.
Okay. Althea regularly yelled at me. To the point where my
Keffals
mother
hyper shake.
said that my ex was scary. I remember one time when Althea, before Althea transitioned, commented on the jeans I was wearing and said that the jeans I was wearing made me look like I was a man.
Based.
I constantly felt like I was walking on eggshells. If I accidentally dropped something, it would get turned into getting yelled at. I remember having, I was contracting at a nonprofit called the Bereaved Families of Ontario for people who lost a loved one. And I remember just how mad the board, a member of the board of directors was when I said that Althea said, I need to get over my father dying because it had been something like 6 months. They were a very cruel person. I could go on so many different things that happened, but I still have a lot more to cover.
Hey, yep, sounds like a shitty boy, girl,
So I said to
whatever
Althea,
friend. Yep.
I don't think you understand the tones you use in your voice or your own body language. And when I bring it up, you say I'm tone policing, but it sets me off because it says more than words. I'm referring to body language. Althea responded, I love you. I really don't want us to fight. I'm sorry. I don't know, really. I thought I was just suggesting you put down self-employed. I really didn't think it made much of a difference either way. And I said, it's just this pattern. I ask not to be woken up. I ask for space when I feel like I'm going to have a meltdown. And there's always some excuse not to let me have those boundaries. And then I'm the bad person. The form was, we were looking for a new place to live. When I'm talking here about a boundary, I had been repeatedly saying, please do not wake me up. And when I talked to a therapist, a psychologist, months after this, my psychologist characterized what Althea was doing to me as torture. Not respecting me being able to sleep, intentionally keeping me sleep deprived.
I hate this. Oh, my therapist said, whenever someone's trying to like call someone else a bad person, please fuck off. I don't care what your fucking therapist said. I actually just could not care any less.
Of the streams that I did in 2021, if I always look like I'm just constantly exhausted, and even the streams at the start of 2022, that's why. Because I was always kept sleep deprived. I never got enough sleep. It is important to clarify that I would always stream late at night, and I would be woken up constantly, operating on like 3-4 hours of sleep a day, sometimes less. I'll keep going.
Wow, Keffals already is a
Althea said,
Destiny
I can
clone
admit I
now.
made a mistake in trying to get you up. And a reminder, getting me up was yanking the blankets off the bed and screaming at me. I'm not exaggerating. That is what happened there. I responded, I don't like being shitty to you. I just don't have a way to get out of the situation. You won't let me remove myself from it. And Althea responded, you acknowledged I was in an anxious panic with the urgency of the situation. Even so, I shouldn't have done it. And I replied, I lash out because you take away my agency. And Althea responded here, but you did leave this time, And then you messaged me because I knew you needed your space till you came to me. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to learn how to respect your needs because I love you. I really am trying. I don't want to take your agency. And if I'm inadvertently
Yeah,
doing
I paused to take laboured breaths into the microphone. Oh man, the chocolate rain shit. Holy fuck, that's such a base reference. Oh man.
so, I'll try my best to be more conscientious. That's a serious commitment from me, and I want to do it so we can work together. When I brought up in the past,
Dude, I can't sing. I don't want to say slurs on stream, but there's such a funny joke that just popped into my head. Like, it's such a good bit. Oh man, what a fucking shame. What a fucking shame.
that I needed to sleep. My ex,
What a
Althea,
fucking
in screenshots,
shame.
who is has a doctorate in sociology, would often quote a bunch of sleep studies at me and say that what I'm doing is unhealthy and what they were doing was the best for me.
The bit would be singing, like, obviously you would say the word, but T-slur rape to the tune of Chocolate Rain would be the idea. That's the joke I was thinking of. Okay.
They leveraged that over me quite often. The majority of the relationship, they were a grad student and I was unemployed on disability. They once said to me that they were ashamed of telling their coworkers that I was on disability. I'll read this last part and we'll continue. Yeah, you realize how shitty this all feels? We are at this hotel. This is me, by the way. We are at this hotel because of me, and because you not wanting to be too involved in my work and the dangers involved meant your OPSEC wasn't as good as mine. This is me referencing the fact that they posted a potted plant in our window on Instagram, which is how Kiwi Farms was able to find our apartment and dox us, leading to the swatting. You got hurt because of me, and I got hurt because of you. It's all fucked up. I just need a sec. My heart is racing. But I'm glad to get this out. Because after this stream is over, I have put all this information out there, and anytime these allegations come up again, I can be like, go watch this stream. I covered it all. Here is all the information. Water. So true. Just letting the mods know that the YouTube chat needs to be dealt with.
So far, no contradictory statements from the thread. What you mean? Keffals hasn't actually contested any claims. He's just added other information.
There's a lot of shitters who are coming out today. This is why I never wanted to have to cover this. But I will, to put this out.
Issa grape. Somebody yell that Summer Capital Lake.
Wake up, sleepyheads. No rest for the wicked. Rise and shine. Good morning. Time to get up and go to work. Oh, you are disabled? Carry on then.
Thank you for the $5. Plant torture enthusiast. Thank you.
Okay. We have a lot to go over. We still have a lot to go over. Jesus Christ, Okay. I just closed the YouTube chat window. I'm not even looking at YouTube for the rest of the stream. If you give enough of a shit, you can go to the site chat.
What?
If you don't know why I'm talking about this, then this isn't for you.
Yeah,
This
we'll
is hard
get
enough
through it.
to
We'll get
cover.
through it all. We're on 2x. It'll be fine. She's not saying anything most of it anyway, so it's not like we have to pause a lot.
As it is. We'll figure it out as we go.
Oh, we got 2
People
hours
are
until
going to
Mecca.
be unhinged because they can smell blood in the water, and they're gravitated to it. This is like a car crash to them. They have no stake in it. So to continue with this, so Althea tweeted out, "We were doing a rental app. All I did was ask if she should put down self-employed or Twitch for employer. She totally lost it on me and dragged me over the coals for trying to wake her up some days after the swatting so we could look for somewhere to live. And as I've already said, being woken up was literally having the blanket pulled from me and being screamed at. But right now, it's being presented as if this was a very calm action, especially when I made it very clear, do not wake me up. Like I specifically had said this. Do not, like I said, I am setting a boundary, do not wake me up. And the response to this is that they resented the idea of me setting a boundary about being woken up, saying that it implied that they were being abusive.
Okay, this is just such a like this is all just one framing versus the other's framing, and no provable details. Right? This is there's no way to figure out what actually happened here. So yeah, like this is all going on in the middle of them trying to find a new place to live. So Keffals maybe we're so fucking lazy. I don't know.
Thea responds to this. This was a day after she woke me up at the prior hotel to say we've been doxxed, and how much money do I want to just disappear? This was less than a week after she asked me to marry her.
Why did you time them out, DK? Oh, you just tested it.
The reason that I asked to marry her in the first place wasn't out of love. It was because after the swatting, I thought I was going to die. And as soon as I got released from custody, I proposed because it made me reconsider how much time I even have left on this earth. It's really weird to portray me as being insane or irrational and airing out this incredibly traumatic period of my life. So Blood responded, "I'm sorry you dealt with this. When I asked her about you in a conversation about a year ago, she said you had been the abuser." And Althea responds to that. Of course she did, because that clears her conscience. She was literally always in the driver's seat, and she used her power against me when and how she wanted. I sacrificed thousands of dollars of my already meager income to stand by her in this period. I was consistently trying to get her to go back home, to leave me alone. I pushed back against her taking a medical leave. This was not a mutual decision. I never agreed to any of that. I never agreed to take care of her. I was not I wasn't the breadwinner. We didn't have a shared bank account. The way that it's being portrayed is very manipulative.
According to you, right? So how much stock can we put in any of this? It's literally one recounting versus the other. There's nothing to really to back any of it up, and they both seem to agree on the general outline of events. It's just about the framing. But the framing is where it is really kind of where you figure out who was right.
Althea replies to that. I only ever admitted problematic behavior under the duress of imminent homelessness. While I was the furthest I'd ever been from home, quite simply, it was a fawning response because I was fucked up enough I would have done almost anything for her at that point. Again, throughout that entire period, I was practically begging her to give me space, as those text messages that she shows even say. Althea continues here. She never made any such accusations until after I served up that fawning response. Notably, about a month after, she spontaneously described me as treating her like she's an abuser. And then Althea posted this.
Yeah, recounting from a period she says is so traumatic she still has PTSD from it. Yeah, the best witness statement, that could ever exist, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
One second. I have to...
Come on, tone it down. Tone it the fuck down.
I have to deal with something very quickly because this is getting on my nerves. Let's see. Channel dashboard. Let's go to live stream. Let's go to customization. minimum subscriber time. Let's go.
She keeps talking like this. Somehow
60 minutes.
pull
There we
our
go.
car over
Perfect.
for a
Now ban all the
goon
shitters,
sesh.
and it takes an hour for people to subscribe so they can say anything, and I can turn the chat back on.
The
Perfect.
panting and crying just setting something off.
That was getting really frustrating. I do have to say, please don't jump to conclusions. The fact a trans woman made a stream that has a title...
Crying does it for me. Based. Honestly, based. You may actually be gooning. What's this? What's the snowman story? What's this? Oh, okay. She talks about a snowman. Oh, okay. Oh man, this is gonna be fucking hilarious, isn't it?
That's going to attract chuds. The fact that I mentioned Kiwi Farms and Joshua Moon, that's going to attract chuds. There is no evidence to suggest that Xanderhall's community is brigading the stream right now. Yeah, it's just the chud viewers. Don't worry about it.
The chud viewers?
He would jump to conclusions about your audience? Yeah, but...
It's me. It's me.
We're better than him.
I love Kiwi Farms.
I'll read the super chats at the end of the stream if I don't feel completely beaten down.
No, I know what she meant.
So, I can't actually even read Althea's writing, but I included this in here. If people want to scroll through the stream and figure out what this says later, go ahead. But I just wanted to put everything that has been said in one place. So people have the record. This is where I know that Althea, before these accusations came out, was intentionally trying to...
Okay, what I got here? So WAP Goblin says, Keffals in public says that Marxism and Leninism is a cult. In private says that she wants to create and be the leader of a cult for validation, paste, power and money. I've been provided these screenshots by a source I will not reveal. I know I'm joking, but I feel like a little piece of me actually wants to form a cult. Call it a cult, call it an insular spiritual community, whatever you want. You probably desire integration and motivation. Climate change, doomsday cult. Maybe from my perspective, integrate community seems cultish. I don't know. Why is integration, motivation, probably power, or maybe money? Okay.
To hurt me. This wasn't simply about
oh, she succeeded.
Wrong. This was malicious. This was
Good job.
intentionally malicious. So Walkoblin tweeted this out. Keffals in public says that Marxism-Leninism is a cult, but in private says that she wants to create and be the leader of a cult for validation, power, and money. I have been provided these screenshots. Be a source I will not reveal. And it starts off, I know I'm joking, but I
cult like that self-castrating one in Japan. Yeah, exactly like that, actually. Yeah.
feel like a little piece of me wants to actually form a cult. This is July 9th, 2020. Walkoblin says, a source I will not reveal. And I can reveal the source because these are my Facebook messenger logs from the same day, all the same messages. It is my ex who is sending information to Walkoblin through DMs in order to send harassment towards me online. There is absolutely no justification for doing this besides wanting to hurt me. This isn't just a Twitter user. This is someone I was in a relationship with for 5 years. And this happened before Althea decided to go public with all of this. So Althea was feeding WAP Goblin information. When was this? Throughout September, maybe earlier than that. Yeah, just very calculated and very malicious. But we can keep going from here.
Hits the vape out of stress. Hitting the
These
pendulum.
are 2 tweets that Althea made. I never responded to Althea on Twitter. I never will. This is my only response. But after Althea went public with that information, Althea tweeted out, privating for a while because I really don't want to be a target for retaliation for saying what I know. And on the same day, she said she can respond however, whenever she wants. I know what happened, and I know how she's willing to wield her power against vulnerable people. This is where I need to admit something. Last year, I was in the papers. This was on CBC, Canada's biggest media outlet.
I lied about everything. I stole 100,000 from the trans community, and I will now be giving it back. I'm coming clean, guys. I'm taking accountability. I will be redistributing $100,000 of GoFundMe money to the trans community and be performing harakiri in public because it's the only way to atone for my crimes.
Twitch streamer and trans activist says she's leaving Canada for a while due to harassment. Earlier this month, Clara Sorrenti was the target of a swatting incident and has.
I will be donating $100,000 to Joshua Moon. I'll be buying him a whole new server room and DDoS protection infrastructure, and he'll be making his own ISP out of Ukraine.
Been doxxed and hacked. And there was a criticism that I frequently got throughout that time. How does moving to a different country help you with online harassment? And as we found out, it didn't. Because once I landed in Belfast, I had people showing up, making threats outside of where I was staying. And I knew that no matter where I went in the world, I would not escape online harassment as long as I was an online figure. And the truth is, I left the country because of my ex and because I was scared of my ex. Because my ex was abusive and abused me emotionally and yelled at me and consistently coerced me into sex. That's why I left. But I couldn't tell anyone. I didn't want it to be a big thing. I didn't want it to be in the papers while all the journalists were circling around and writing their stories. I didn't want that
I'm pulling this car
I didn't want
over.
any of this to ever be out in public. So here's a signal message. August 21st. Between me and Althea. I had a streamer friend who lives in the UK offer to let me live with him and his wife for a bit, and it's such a tempting offer. Just fuck out of the country. And Althea responds, yeah, maybe. And I responded, but would you even be cool with me doing that? I feel like it'd just make you really sad. Because the implication here is I'm going alone. And Althea responds to this, I'd hope you'd want to bring me. And I tried to let her down gently. And I said, you don't have a passport. And Althea responds to that, I thought you could pay to expedite your first one. So she was really doing everything that she could to maintain that proximity to me, even though it had been made clear repeatedly that I wanted space. That she felt.
But she's like, wait, what is the presentation here? Sorry, let's go over these texts, right? So I had a streamer friend who lives in the UK to offer to let me live with him and his wife for a bit. It's such a tempting offer, just fuck out of the country. So she's floating here the idea that I'm going to leave, right? Then you get, yeah, maybe lol. Which is like, it's apprehensive. Obviously, she feels bad about it, but she's saying like, you know, I'm not going to stop you, basically. And then Keffals goes, would you even be cool with me doing that? I feel like it'd just make you really sad. Like, are you sure you're okay about it? You, like, you know, I'm going to do this, but I want to make sure you're okay with it. And then she's like, I hope you want to bring me with you. Like, this is not the way she's presenting it, is it? She's like checking in. This is her being like, is there anything you want to say? Have you got any thoughts about this? And then you fucking complain when the other person turns around and says, yeah, well, I would, is there any chance I can come with you? And then you give a practical response. And then if you give a practical response to an answer like that, so like if they say, oh, can I come? And you go, oh, there's this practical reason you can't, instead of going, oh, there's this emotional reason I don't want you to, then that's not a clear rejection. It's not a clear shutdown. It's saying because that can easily be interpreted as, well, there's this problem we would have to fix first if we were to do that. Right? It's just fucking... This is not clear. She's saying this is clear. It's not clear. It's not fucking clear at all. It's not clear in the slightest.
Like she needed to be around me. And I honestly believe it's because she knew that unless she has that proximity to me, she had absolutely no control over me. And I think that the reason why she made this public in the first place, why she decided to leak things to WAP Goblin, was because smearing me online is the last way that she has any control over me at all. I live in a completely different continent now. I am so scared of her, I'm not even going back to Canada to see my family on Christmas because I don't want to be in the same city as her. So this is the following day, August 22nd, 2022. I posted the Daily Dot article of Cloudflare dropping kiwi farms. And Althea responds, "Hey, please don't forget to send a brief email to explain why I need to come with you." And after no response, "Just a few words will do, I think. Sorry to bother you." And I just
then she says, okay. Like, she's just like, she's not being clear at all. She's like leading this Althea person on, right? Because she's like not shutting it down at all. She said like, oh, we can't do it because of the passport. And then no, she's like, are you okay with this happening? Have you got any thoughts about it? She's like, well, I'd like to come. She's like, we can't do it because of the passport. Obviously now the passport's fixed, and now there's a new problem, which is obviously that someone needs to be sent an email to explain why Althea needs to come. And Keffals is like, not saying she's not going to do it, and then when pressed on it again, says she is going to do it, but obviously she never does it, I assume. So this is Keffals showing shitty behaviour. This just looks like Keffals being a complete shitty person. It sounds like it was probably a fucking toxic relationship, but this is such a, a dog shit way to act, especially to someone that you're supposed to care about, right? She's afraid of her. She has a reason to be shitty. IWW, your ironic, your epic trolling, saying just what a Twitter lefty would say, is growing very old very quickly. Okay. Abandoning your partner is basically stop being so fucking soy. We know you're a DGGer, Jimberly. You didn't have to tell us, alright? What tier sub? What tier sub? How many months?
These are
Sorry, wait, no, you're a Destiny Reddit Janny. Destiny Reddit Janny. Not even Reddit. Discord Janny. Destiny Discord Janny, that's what it was. You weren't a high tier. There's someone that's a higher tier. That's Shaved Dog's ass. He's the tier 4 or tier 5, whatever. You're the Discord Janny. That's it.
signal messages between me and Ellen from now on September 12th. I was really happy here.
What do they call him in the Discord? Destiny's Discord? What is it? Regs?
I was really happy.
Wait. This went from 0 to 100, didn't it? So we're kind of fine here. Work it up. Smiling a little bit. Work it up. Focus. Think about something sad.
These are signal messages between me and Ellen from now on September 12th. I was really happy here. I was really happy here until Althea arrived, and we already just had a fight.
Okay. Let's read this ourselves. I don't want to hear Keffals' fucking bullshit emotional dramatization of this. I was really happy here until Alex arrived, and we already just had a fight, and I feel really bad to bring this into your house. I thought this space would do us good, but I think it's just made me realize I don't want to be in a relationship right now. Wait. I thought this space would do us good. But I thought she wanted to get away from Althea. I'm sleeping on the couch, but I'm looking to leaving sooner rather than later. I'm embarrassed happening. Oh, honey, that's okay. It's understandable. Yep. Nothing to be embarrassed about, at least to me and my friend. So, firstly, whatever you need. Do you think you actually both benefit from staying in a hotel? You are, of course, and will remain welcome to be here as long as short space. Okay. Fuck me. I was glazing over there. So, like, she's saying that she was saying a minute ago that her thought process back then was, I need to get away from my partner. But here, in text messages at the time, she is describing her thought process as they needed to get away together.
really bad for bringing this into your house. I thought the space would do us good, but I think it just made me realize I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I'm sleeping on the couch, but I'll look into leaving sooner rather than later. I'm embarrassed this is happening. I said, okay, honey, it's okay. That's understandable. Nothing to be embarrassed about, at least to me. I'm your friend first, so whatever you need. You think you, Alex, you both would benefit from, I don't know, staying in a hotel. You're
They need space to maybe fix things up. Okay, yeah, but look at the wording here, right? I thought the space would do us good, but I think it just made me realize I don't want to be in a relationship right now. But there's no space between them. They're talking about space from the situation here, right? Getting some space from the situation would do us good, because there's no space between them. They're both in the same house. They've both gone to Ireland together. They haven't had space, so saying I thought the space would do us good, that wouldn't make sense if they're talking about the space between each other. They're talking about space from the situation they were in, I think. Because they've moved from Canada to Ireland.
of course, and remain welcome here as long or as short as you please. So the fight, Althea went to Northern Ireland. She got an expedited passport and she went to Northern Ireland. And the fight that happened was because she started pressuring me into having sex, and when I turned it down, she started calling me a prude, saying that it's not healthy for our relationship, that it's not healthy to not want to have sex if you're in your 20s. And I broke up with Althea in Northern Ireland.
Okay, well, source? Any evidence of that one, or is this just one of you saying one thing, the other's gonna say another? Okay. Like, at least the text from the time saying like, "Oh, this is why I broke up with her." Surely you would have told a friend about this.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna deputize some more site chat mods because streams.
Like, you've got messages about this fight, but you don't have messages about the reason for your breakup. I could probably go back and find a message to substantiate at the time me talking about literally every wrong any woman has ever committed against me. I've probably mentioned it somewhere at some point. I'll be real. I don't understand how Keffals would not be able to find a message to substantiate the reason for her breakup with her, you know, partner of years that she lived with.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna deputize some more site chat mods because stream's still getting brigaded, and I want to get through this. Let's see. If you need more mods, okay, hold on a second. A pillow. Let's see. Okay, a pillow. I made you a mod. Gift smooth. I'm just gonna give a whole bunch of people mod, and you can just IP ban on site. I don't care. I just want to get through this. I don't know. If your first reaction to the pain of others is to laugh, what in your life actually gives you joy? I don't think it's much. Vacant 0. I'll make you a mod. Sure. All right, that's 3 more deputized. We can shoot the shit with that later.
Yeah, guys, I was swatted. My life is in danger. 100k, please. Give 100k. Thank you, please. Violence is violence. Exactly.
It's devastating to see couples like this, how things turned out better. Things did turn out better in the end. I'm actually really happy, but it's hard to be reminded of all of this. This incredibly painful period of my life that I really want to move on from. Oh, jeez. But love from the H3, that's actually, it's interesting that you mentioned that because I had stayed up for over 24 hours.
Can you deputize me so I can ban Mantis? No. It's not going to be happening, okay?
Hours, when I went on the H3 podcast, because that was the day I broke up with Althea. Ellen and I drove Althea to the Dublin airport and back before I had to jump on that stream. I was sleep deprived. I was stressed to the point of tears. And I was not in a good headspace. And it's a really big regret because I don't get opportunities like ever to go on a platform that big. And I feel like I was only at like 30% of where I could have been. But that's all in the past. Okay, I'm gonna keep going now.
don't have an hold to it, Jesus.
I couldn't take this screenshot without also including this image of an old stream where I'm pointing. There was no way for me to include.
That's good. Okay, so what's it here? You're doing alright? Not really. I can explain a bit. Okay, need anything? I broke up and said I'm moving to the new apartment alone. When we got back, we saw the email that the new tenant has already paid for our old unit. Alex can't afford to live practically anywhere in the city. Ah, fuck, yep. Is it possible to help out with rent for a bit, or if needs be to live together for a bit? Okay. So still not substantiating the reason for the breakup here. Just that a breakup happened, which we could figure that.
The timestamp without also including that. But this is September 21st, 2022. And Ellen asked me, "You doing all right?" And I said, "Not really. I can explain a bit." She asked me if I needed anything. And I said, "I broke up and said I'm moving into the new apartment alone." When we got back, we saw the email that a new tenant has already paid for our old unit. Althea can't afford to live practically anywhere in the city. And she responded, "Ah, fuck." And she asked me, is it possible to help out with rent for a bit, or if needs be, live together for a little bit? And this is important. This is the following day. And I said to Ellen,
If you're talking with me yesterday, I don't think I would have gotten confidence otherwise. Alex Strapp admitted before you came out to abusing me. So, okay, admitted to abusing me. Okay, so this is still not talking about the sexual assault that she claims, which is apparently what the reason for the breakup, the final reason for the breakup was. And even if we do accept that an admission of abuse happened, there's like, I would say like a good 60 or 70% chance that the person probably thinks that Keffals was abusive too, and probably thought that Keffals was abusive too. And they were both abusive, but there was a toxic relationship. I would say I would wager 60 to 70% chance on that, to be honest. If it is true that there was an abuse admission, which we had just taken Keffals' word for.
I said, Ellen, thank you for talking with me yesterday.
Like, you've got to think, like, Keffals was like an addict at this point, right? Like a full-blown addict, scamming money from a GoFundMe. Up to some real degenerate shit. The chance of this being just like a one-way abusive relationship is just, I don't see that as a massively high likelihood, personally.
Confidence otherwise. Althea straight up admitted before you came out to abusing me. I'm kind of impressed that they were willing to just say that. And Ellen responded, "My pleasure, dear. I'm glad it gave you the spark. Oh, wow. How are you feeling about that?" And I said to her, it felt validating because it's what I've thought for a long time now, and it made Althea realize how much they fucked up. They came out, and I came out to the living room because I was sleeping on the couch, to tell me they were looking up some of the stuff I was telling them they've done over the years, and found out it is called coercive control, and is part of domestic abuse laws in the UK. And Ellen responded to that. I'm glad it felt validating. Yeah, coercive control law has been really good lately. A lot is covered by it.
Is it abuse to retaliate asking for a friend? Yeah, I think so, probably. Well, I mean, it depends on the situation, but generally, probably, yeah. Depends what you like. There's self-defense and retaliation. Oh shit, if he blames her ex... oh, that was an accidental pronoun slip, okay, guys. Holy shit, if she blames her ex for the relapse in this stream, she's goated. Coercive control stuff is wild. I don't even know what... I've never had to look into domestic abuse laws, I'm going to be real. It's never been a thought that's crossed my mind. So, coercive control law UK. Coercive control domestic law UK. I should look into it, to be honest. Gotta look in these times. I've got to be careful in these times. Rumpus right, we need to get back to the 70s before women could have credit cards legally. But they weren't in Canada, right? They were in Ireland, Northern Ireland. I'm very well versed. What would you like to know? Anyone in chat ever represented themselves in a domestic violence case? That's what we need right now. That's the sort of person I need to be talking to about this. Offense of controlling or coercive behaviour in intimate or family relationship. My expertise on British laws is exclusively focused on lolicon and age of consent. Okay, those are the laws I really focus on. Tell you everything you need to know about the age of consent, guys. All right. The importance of the importance of identifying this crime, even when other... Okay, right. This is just saying what it emphasizes. Okay, I don't care. What is... Okay. Here we go. Here's the actual behaviors that they list. Alright. Wait, no way do they issue penalties for some of this stuff. I don't even feel like we should have laws about some of this stuff. This seems crazy. Okay, let's read the examples here, because some of this looks crazy from what I'm seeing. Isolating a person from their friends and family. Should we really have criminal punishments for this? Criminal punishments? Providing their basic needs makes sense. That's fine. Monitoring their time. Criminal punishments for this? This makes sense, especially with spyware. You probably shouldn't be able to keylog a partner or something. Using digital systems such as smart devices, social media, coerce, control, upset the victim, including posting trigger. Okay, this probably shouldn't be. This shouldn't be a law, I don't think. That sounds like a free speech issue. They can control over aspects of their everyday life, such as where they can go, who they can see, what to wear, when they can sleep. Be intertwined with the suspect saying it's in their best interest and rewarding good. See, that I'm not. Like, it depends. I don't. Yeah, I don't think someone should have control over where someone can go and who they can see. But this idea that like, who wants domestic violence abusers to get away with it? Ha 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 ha. Oh, I just don't want crazy fucking laws. Listen, British laws are fucked. Okay. Like, this makes sense. This makes sense. But then this can be intertwined with the suspect saying it's in their best interest and rewarding good behavior, e.g. with gifts. Where do we stop that? Where's the line there? That's like a retarded thing to put in. But Islam is illegal in the UK, got it. Yeah, literally, right? Like, this is literally... it seems like it's illegalizing pretty much every, like, you know, traditional immigrant family, pretty much. Like, what? I feel like I need to look at what this actually does. But this is like criminal, right? They're actually saying this is criminal. This isn't just like guidelines for interventions from social services or something. This is retarded. Depriving them access to support services. No, this makes sense. This one makes sense. That one should probably be a crime. Repeatedly putting them down, such as telling them they're worthless. That should not be a crime. Enforcing rules and activity which humiliate, degrade, or dehumanize the victim. Yeah, obviously it's case by case. Like a lot of it's going to come down to how it's applied, but I way prefer having laws that have clear bounds. Because it feels like you could weaponize this very easily. Like if it, like obviously it's rare cases, I don't doubt, but like, it would be very easy to weaponize if like there was a serious issue. I take like, okay, Julian Assange. I don't know whether he raped that woman in Sweden, but you wouldn't even need to get him for rape in the UK, right? Proven guilty of many violations of this law. Listen. Forcing the victim to take part in criminal activity. Yeah, obviously. Yep. Yep, that's obviously should be crime. Economic abuse, including coerced debt, controlling spending, spreading cancer investment. Again, this is like so difficult because it's like, where do you start? At what point does it become this? What is this? This is the 2015 Section 76 Serious Crime Act, which made coercive and controlling behavior in relationships illegal. Controlling the ability to go to school or place of study. Yeah, that makes sense. It should probably be a crime. Again, to what extent does that? Because I can see, like, you know, situations where there's like an older student that maybe has to like work or something. It's like the partner is maybe forcing them to, well, not forcing, but you know, encouraging them to go to work instead of, you know, getting sleep for school or something because they need to pay rent that month. Like, you know, there's like situations where I can imagine something like this happening, something that could be portrayed as this happening, that I would be fine, that I would probably see as like below criminal or even fine. So it's all in my application, but I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone's got any good examples of this being put in, or I should say any bad examples. Has this been misused so far? Because if it's not being misused, then I mean, I guess it's not that big of a fucking issue. But because it does come, this is all down to interpretation. It's how you apply these. Like a lot of these are like, could be really bad, but also could not be really bad, you know? Taking wages, benefits, or allowances, yeah, that's bad. Threatening to hurt or kill, yeah, obviously, I feel like that's a given. Yep, I mean, we'll go. I'll concede on that one. Yeah, probably should be illegal to threaten children. Threatening to reveal or publish private information, yep, agree with that one. That's actually fucking based. That's actually based. That's actually fucking based. Threatening to hurt or physically harming a family pet, yep. I mean, well, that's just animal abuse. I thought it should already be illegal. Assault, yeah, no shit. Physical intimidation, blocking doors, criminal damage. Preventing person from having access to transport or working. Preventing a person from learning or using language, making friends outside their ethnic cultural background. Family dishonor. Reputational damage, based. Sexual assault or threats of sexual assault. Well, yeah, obviously. So wait, with Destiny, dude, Destiny is fucked if he goes to the UK. It's over. It's over. He literally can't live his lifestyle if he was living in the UK. There would be no Melfesto. reproductive coercion, including restricting a victim's access to birth control, refusing to use a birth control method, forced pregnancy, forcing a victim to get an abortion, to undergo IVF or other procedure, or denying access to such a procedure. This is very male focused, but would this, I wonder if this would ever apply to women, like if you lie about using birth control or something. Using substances such as alcohol or drugs to control a victim through dependency or controlling their access to substances. Disclosure of sexual orientation. Wishful thinking, mate. Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's no shot. Women can literally run around being wanton rapists and pedophiles, and no one will ever do anything about it. Okay. So, yeah, using substances such as alcohol or drugs to control a victim through dependency or controlling their access to substances. So you can't put nicotine patches on your girlfriend while she's sleeping. Is that what you're saying? Women being held accountable and other fantastical things. Disclosure of sexual orientation. What? Okay. Disclosure of HIV status or other medical condition without consent. So you can't go around telling people someone's paused. You can't say, you can't go around saying someone's gay and paused. What the fuck? Limiting access to family, friends, and finances. You're nicked as soon as you end stream. I do feel like that some nights. Withholding and or destruction of the victim's immigration documents, e.g. passports and visas. Yeah, that's bad. Threatening to place the victim at an institution against victims or e.g. care home, supported living facility, mental health facility, etc. Particularly for disabled or elderly victims. Okay. There might be confusion about where the appropriate dynamic of a relationship ends and where unlawful behavior begins. One way of considering this is described by the College Policing Authorized Professional Practice on Domestic Abuse, which sets out that in many relationships, there are occasions where one person makes a decision on behalf of another, or when one partner takes control of the situation and the other has to compromise. The difference is that in an abusive relationship is that these decisions by a dominant partner can become rules that, when broken, lead to consequences for the victim. Ah. But yeah, sure. I don't disagree. But what do we start calling consequences then? Because if a partner does something you're upset with in a relationship and then you get upset with it and you don't want to fucking talk to them, or you want just tell them to fuck off, like, are we really gonna say that's illegal? Because that's just you having an emotional response, right? That's not dishing out consequences. But if it happens often enough, it can have the effect of being a consequence, right? And it will fit under some of these things. I agree that because a partner fucks you over, you shouldn't deprive them of shit. Like, you know, you shouldn't fucking stop them from going to school or some shit. That's fucking insane. But that's not the only thing. It's not just those material things that are on there, is it? It's like mean words. But this is this is like, I don't know. This is kind of worrying stuff. I'm gonna be honest. I fucking hate the UK laws, man. They're so fucking annoying. You realize, like, Destiny, like, under these laws would theoretically be convicted for, like, just stuff he's done in the last week, in theory, right? Should we see like what has Destiny done in the last week? Isolating a person from their friends and family. Yes, okay. Destiny is guilty of this one because he told DGG about how terrible of a person Mel was, and she had friends in there, and now she had to block everyone because they keep reading her shit. Okay, so that's one. Problem with basic needs. He refunded the tax payment that he had already made, which could send her to prison, which is depriving her of basic needs. Monitoring their time. I can't prove that. Monitoring a person via online communication tools or using spyware. I mean, 100%. And no, using digital systems such as smart devices to coerce, control, or upset the victim, including post some triggering material. Well, yeah. She was like, she's like, don't, I don't want to talk about this publicly. You know, this is all very sensitive stuff for me. And then he goes on, oh, this guy tried to suicide riz her and tried to kill herself. Now we're signing criminal actions today. Yeah. Because, well, I'm just going through this. I'm just saying how crazy this would be. Because I don't think Destiny should be criminally prosecuted for the stuff he's done in the last week. I think that'd be insane to criminally prosecute someone for the stuff, that's wild to me. But we're seeing how many of these fit. How many of these could you make an argument in court if Melina was in UK court testifying against Destiny? Which of these would a lawyer argue fit Destiny's behavior? Okay, this is what we're doing. So yeah, the suicide risk stuff, that would be posting triggering material, I think. Taking control of the aspects of their everyday life. No, it doesn't do that. Providing access to support services such as specialist support or medical services. No, I don't think so. Repeatedly put them down. Yep. Enforcing rules and activity which humiliate, degrade, or dehumanize the victim. I don't think he enforces rules and shit. I think that's not the kind of Sigma manipulator Destiny is, I don't think. Forcing the victim to take part in criminal activity. No, I don't think he forces her to do anything of that sort, at least. Economic abuse, including coerced debt, controlling spending, bank accounts, investments. You could probably make an argument for this if you were trying to get him fucked in court, just because of the tax refund while her bank accounts were frozen. Because like he kind of does have economic control over it while her bank account is like frozen, right? Talking about you get no. Threatening to hurt or kill. I mean, who knows? Threatening to harm a child. Not any child involved in this. Misuse his credit card in the US. Threatening to reveal or publish private information. Yes. No. No one assault, I don't think. Physical intimidation, doubt it. Doesn't seem that kind of guy. Criminal damage, yeah, I really doubt that. Destiny isn't like a violent, aggressive, breaking things kind of schizo. He's a, you know, quiet manipulator, like Memetic, you know. Two sides of the same coin, really. A bit like Death Note. When you think about it. That's how Destiny sees his life, isn't it? What was that? Didn't he say it back in the Bob 7 days? He was like, oh, when I was in my 20s, I used to always go around playing, being like Light Yagami everywhere. I just can't do that anymore, though. I don't have the time for it. IMO. Preventing a person from learning or using a language or making friends outside of their ethnic or cultural background. Yeah, I doubt. I don't think that's quite what Destiny's doing. Family dishonor. Reputational damage. Yeah, so that one he was trying to do. I did do. Sexual assault or threats of sexual assault? Yeah, I don't think so. Reproductive coercion, doubt it. Well, I mean, he doesn't use a condom ever, but I doubt he has to you know, convince her. I expect he probably just backs off if he can't do that, you know. We know all about Destiny. We know Raw Dog by now. We've seen the logs. Using substances such as alcohol or drugs. I don't think he does that, but I mean, you could maybe make an argument for it that he was plying someone with drugs. I could imagine making that argument in court, maybe. If you're really trying to fuck him. Disclosure of sexual orientation. No. Disclosure of HIV status or other medical. No. Having access to family, friends, and finances. Doubt it. I mean, well, he probably tried to split her off from these Memetic and Seth Everman and all these people, right? Like, he probably tried to do that, I would imagine. You could probably argue that he tried to do that anyway. On the other side of it. No, I doubt he did that. Threatening to place victim in an institution against will. Yeah, I doubt it. But still, my point is, listen. If you love Destiny, and you think I'm a psychotic incel, okay, just know that Destiny would be prosecuted. Or, well, no, I don't know it'd be prosecuted, but you could make an argument for Destiny being prosecuted under these UK laws that I'm bitching about, okay? Look, listen, look, listen.
So, I wanted to go over that in this stream.
Oh. Because Keffals gonna go over it anyway. We just spent.
Some people can take something away from this situation. So I grabbed an article about coercive control. Okay. And I'm just gonna go over what that is. And if you recognize anything in your relationship,
I get a life sentence where I was lost. Tell me about it, bro.
You should have a good long think about it. What is coercive control? Domestic abuse isn't always physical. Coercive control is an act or a pattern of acts of assault, threats, humiliation, and intimidation or other abuse that is used to harm, punish, or frighten their victim. How can you tell whether you are a victim of coercive control? Here are the signs. So the first one, it's more than just one argument. Emotional abuse happens over a sustained period of time, where the perpetrator repeatedly controls their victim.
Wiggler in general? Oh no. You're such a... Oh, we're putting this on screen. Oh, let me just add this to the OBS. This is fucking funny. Oh, this is gonna be great.
From our point of view, when we are talking about domestic violence, it's not the case that
we're gonna put this up whenever Keffals is being covered in future. Okay, we're putting this up. All right.
One argument crosses a line and it becomes an abusive relationship. It's a pattern in the relationship where one partner is controlling and there's an ongoing sense of fear. And number two, an abuser wants to scare their victim. With domestic violence, usually male partners behave in a way that's designed to intimidate, frighten, or coerce their victim's behavior. When a victim is frightened of their partner and treads on eggshells out of fear of the reaction, that's a problem. It's abuse if you feel frightened of your partner and you're worrying about the consequences of what externally might be relatively minor things. If he gets angry at the slightest thing, if you have to do everything his way, if you're worried and feel like your behavior will set him off. I'm gonna take a... I'm sorry if this is a very triggering stream. by the way. I know that this is a very hard thing to talk about. But I'm also happy that I've been able to talk about it.
Why are they using male pronouns? Well, you know why, because it's a law against men. Let's be real. Let's be real here. Very clear what that law is focused around preventing. And who it's there to protect.
Okay, so number 3, the small things count. Women's Aid give one example where a man told his partner that she had to wrap cheese in a particular way before putting it in the fridge. If she did it wrong, he would scream and shout at her. We all have funny little things like that, but the point is she was frightened of his response, they explain. He didn't hit her, but she knew he would see it as a symbol that she didn't love him and she was trying to wind him up. It seems like a minor thing to you, but it has a big impact to them. An example, with Althea one time, I had the front door open of a house that we were living at, and when they came home from work, they couldn't find their cat, who was under the couch, and they screamed so loud, like no one has screamed at me that intensely my entire life, blaming me for having the door open to get some air when the cat was in the house the entire time, never left. So 4, a one-way street. In a healthy relationship, equality is present. If one person has particular needs, they accept that their partner will also have their own needs. But an abuser will not think about their partner and generally puts themselves first. It doesn't go the other way, explains Women's Aid. There's no consideration that you're upset. Perpetrators of domestic violence do it because they feel entitled to behave that way. They think their partner is there to meet their needs, and they're entitled to take whatever they want. Number 5 on the list, for coercive control. Nothing ever happened. Gaslighting is when someone exhibits abusive behavior and then pretends it didn't happen, or even switches on to the victim. It's also common among psychological abusers. It can be very confusing, says Women's Aid. It can cause serious problems when a woman starts to doubt herself. That's very difficult to get your head around as a survivor. It takes a woman a long time to recognize that the nice behavior and abusive behavior are both a conscious decision on the behalf of the perpetrator. Number 6, unhappiness doesn't matter. In a healthy relationship, if one person tells their partner just how unhappy they are with their abuse... I'm going to start again. In a healthy relationship, if one person tells their partner just how unhappy they are with their behavior, they may be upset, annoyed, or both, but they will eventually get over it. An abuser will not react that way. A perpetrator is unwilling ever to listen to why you're unhappy and will often minimize what has happened. If they're not willing to do any work towards your relationship, that would be really concerning, as would being too scared to talk about it in the first place.
Wait, sorry, what? I don't even agree with this. Perpetrators unwilling to ever listen why you're unhappy, often minimize what's happening. They're not willing to do any work towards your relationship. I don't agree with that. That anyone they're saying that to be a perpetrator of domestic violence, it requires that you never listen to why the person is unhappy. That's a retarded thing to say, I feel, no?
All of us in relationships mess up sometimes and don't behave appropriately. If you're frightened and worried and feel like you have to give up on the things that are important...
I'm not even saying it like that. I'm saying that I wouldn't agree with this. A perpetrator is unwilling to ever listen to why you're unhappy. I wouldn't agree with this because sometimes they might be totally willing to... They could still be a perpetrator. They could still be a really fucking abusive person. But they might sometimes, either be willing to listen or feign willingness to listen, right? But I just don't agree with that as an assessment.
To you in order to make your partner okay and to avoid his bad behavior, that's where the line is.
Okay, was that? Where do you feel like things you could go from? But then that's retarded as well, because everyone avoids doing some things to not upset someone when they're in a relationship, right? That happens just naturally. I don't know, bro. Okay.
Yeah, I have the chug jug.
Stop arguing with domestic abuse laws now.
I appreciate it. Hold on, thank you. Am I okay? I am okay. I'm okay. Besides getting brigaded by chuds, this has gone well. I still have more to talk about, obviously. I want to show you all something. Because Althea had a tendency. Oh, I didn't even get through it all. I think it's the next thing up. So, number 7. Controlling in many ways. Women's Aid explains that control is a significant factor in psychological abuse, and a perpetrator can exact it in a number of ways, such as not letting their partner go out or visit friends and family. It can also be financial, with a perpetrator controlling their victim's money, or it can be a case of the abuser not wanting to ever socialize. And that was something that I experienced quite often, where...
Guys, you know Shoe on Head's name has a 0 in it. Is it the on where the 0 is? Is it Shoe 0 N Head, right?
all of my online activity was monitored, who I was allowed to be friends with. Well, I was never given exact word for word, you can't be friends with someone. It would often be implied over and over again, I don't like this person, here's why this person isn't good, here's why this person has bad politics and they're not a good friend, and you shouldn't be their friend. It was incredibly controlling. Even after my father passed away, I wasn't able to stay with my mom for more than 3 days before Althea started demanding I come home. And that is incredibly fucked up. Because I wanted to be there for her so much more. But number 8, personal attacks. There doesn't have to be any physical violence for someone to be guilty of domestic abuse. It's not just about bruises. Often it can simply involve words, where a perpetrator might make comments designed to emotionally manipulate his victim. It's abuse if he or she puts you down and tells you you're stupid and unattractive, then no one else will love you. Even if it seems to be done in a kind way, it's still emotional abuse. So like the comment I talked about earlier, saying that you look like a man in those pants, like putting me down and trying to control the way I dress.
Kuihman Wiggler, you don't like the Quiggler. You don't like the Quiggler.
This is what I wanted to show you all. This is an old message that shows a cut on Althea's leg. And I said, what the fuck? She responds, yeah, it hurts. I said, I'm so sorry. Althea said, it's okay, now we know. And I said, I think it might have been when you were wrestling me. And she responded, fair. Because she would often disregard my boundaries to the point where...
Wait, so what the fuck happened here?
For someone to be guilty of domestic abuse, it's not just about bruises. Often it can simply involve words, where a perpetrator might make comments designed to emotionally manipulate his victim. It's abuse if he or she puts you down and tells you you're stupid and unattractive, then no one else will love you. Even if it seems to be done in a kind way, it's still emotional abuse. So like the comment I talked about earlier, saying that you look like a man in those pants, like putting me down and trying to control the way I dress. This is what I wanted to show you all. This is an old message that shows a cut on Althea's leg. And I said, what the fuck? She responds, yeah, it hurts. I said, I'm so sorry. Althea said, it's okay, now we know. And I said, I think it might have been when you were wrestling me. And she responded, fair. Because she would often disregard my boundaries to the point where she has scars on her body from my nails when I was trying to exert my boundaries that I did not want to have sex. And I should have seen the red flags.
Wait, so what am I being told happened? So, and the conversation, so the claim is that she was trying to stop this person from having sex with her. And she scratched her while doing so. And the conversation we see about the wound is WTF, WTF. Yeah, it hurts somehow. I'm so sorry. But why are you apologizing here if that was the case? It's okay, now we know. Now we know what? Now we know what? Now we know what? It might have been when you were wrestling me. Fair. This is... yeah, this conversation does not seem to line up with what we're being told that the event is referring to as, right? This is not a post-attempted rape conversation, I don't think, to me. Yeah, okay. No one's saying the abuse victims don't act weird. What's the issue here is, what is now we know? What is this referring to, right? Now we know what. What were they doing that led to them discovering that Althea was going to get scratched if they did that, right? That doesn't sound like an attempted rape shit. Like, it sounds like they're fucking around. And then they're saying wrestling. I mean, I don't want to say it's probably kink play. She's reframing it post hoc. I don't want to go that far. I'm just saying that I don't know that this evidence is not good. You should. Did you not speak to anyone else while this stuff was going on? While you're in this relationship, did you not have communications with other people where you were relaying any of these events to them at the time? Where you can show us that at least at the time you were relaying the same events that you're giving us now. That's what I would want to see, really. If we could have this image, and then you talking to a friend about it, where you're saying how you actually felt about it, that would be ideal. I feel like most people would have that. I feel like if you've got this much messaging about this, we'll see.
That she was like this, because she does this with animals. She does this with her cat. She has scratches all over her body from her cat because she like constantly disregards the boundaries with her cat. Her cat doesn't want to be picked up.
What?
And now whenever I see someone who
okay.
disregards the boundaries of animals, it's just a huge red flag.
So people who pick cats up when they don't want to be picked up are like rapists. Okay. This is okay.
Not. Like it. So, oh my god, my heart.
No, she's not saying that. She's saying that cut on screen is from her. Keffals is saying that she caused that cut that was on screen by trying to resist this person having sex with her, but that the person was also covered in loads of cat scratches because she didn't respect the boundaries of her cat. Let's read this message. I want to read these untainted by Keffals crying because it's clear she's being very performative. Hi Clara, I'm really sorry if I got you heated. If I got heated, I didn't mean to dispute you or argue. I'm just struggling to understand, but that's not your job. It's probably smart to take a break. Talking. Please let me know if we can open lines of communication to open figure out in New York. I know there's baggage between us, but I still think it will go a lot smoother if we work together, save a lot of changes, save a lot of charges. Gonna change just of what I say. Keep focusing on necessary tasks. Move all of your stuff out and text my mom when you're done. They'll call the junk removal me to finish the job. Okay, so she's saying fuck off basically. Okay.
These are the final text messages that we ever had with each other. And the context of these text messages is missing because we communicated on Signal and there was a day.
This is my read on this. I'm not going to say this is because there is room for it to be the other way, but my read on this is 100% trying to cling on to some way of still having proximity.
Before messages auto-deleted. When Althea admitted and owned up to being an abuser, when she specifically named coercive control, I was willing to help her financially to find a place. And she decided to walk it back and say that she didn't do that and that it was mutually abusive. And when she did that, I decided that I would withdraw all my support and I no longer wanted to talk to her. I no longer wanted to have anything to do with her. I'll read these out. So this is Althea. Hi, Clara. I'm really sorry if I got heated. I don't mean to dispute you or argue. I'm just struggling to understand, but that's not your job. It's probably smart to take a break talking, but please let me know if we can keep lines of communication open to figure out ending York, which again is our old apartment. I know there is baggage between us, but I still think it will go a lot smoother if we work together and save a lot of charges. I'll be more conscientious of what I say and keeping focused on just the necessary tasks. And I responded to that. Move all your stuff out and text my mom when you are done, then I'll call the junk removal and maids to finish the job. I did not want to be in the same room or talk to her whatsoever. So she responded to this. Okay, I'll do that and message your mom. And I replied, if you give her an address and unit number, I'll box up and have all your stuff from this apartment brought over. And she responded to this. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I said a few hurtful thoughts you didn't need to hear. Let's take a break talking for a few days a week, but please don't cut me off altogether, or at least please, no, you don't have to. I do want to respect and need your help. So yeah, this is desperate. This is desperate. This is not a good look. This is not a good look.
I said hurtful thoughts you didn't need to hear. Let's take a break talking for a few days or weeks, but please don't cut me off altogether, or at least please, no, you don't have to. I do want to respect you the way you want to be respected. I still need your help. I know I failed you when we were together, but I did genuinely want to remain friends and do right that way. I respect you very deeply, and I want my behavior to always reflect that. I understand if you don't want to be friends after all, but please remember I do still need your help. Can you please confirm if you will follow through on the bed and the GoFundMe money? If I know that, we can just stop talking if that's what you want. And my final response to Althea was, there is no...
Okay, on the bed and the GoFundMe money. So there was some amount of the GoFundMe money that was meant to go to Althea. But that was never stated, was it? That was never stated. It was never... Oh yeah, I need to fund my girlfriend as well. My boyfriend at the time, I guess. You know. That was not made clear in the fundraising. Yeah, bug made me a wiggler. So this is already admitting that you misused the funds, I feel. I don't know, I would have to look in the GoFundMe, but I feel like this is kind of admitting that there was, or at least an intention to misuse the fund. I'm appreciating this animated cartoon mascot of Kuihman. It helps me remember whose stream I'm watching.
Positive aspect to your presence in my life. You've hurt me a lot, and I do not want you in my life in any capacity. I'm not going to follow through on anything because I owe you nothing, and those offers were based on goodwill, which you burnt through. You know how to contact my mom, so we can finish our separation. Don't try to contact me again unless it's through a third party I trust, like my mother. That was it. That is the last thing that I ever said. Now...
Wait. So positive. Owe you nothing, and those offers based on goodwill, which you burnt through. So she didn't get any GoFundMe money. Was it what was stated in the original GoFundMe? Because I thought you can't just go around dishing out the GoFundMe fundraiser money that you got for a legal fund to your friends. You can't be offering to do that. That's fucking insane. No, you're.
If you think that,
Bro, I
saw some
fucking
people
hate
saying
these
that
people.
was guilt trippy.
And always remember, Destiny forgave all this. She said sorry to Destiny, and Destiny just forgot about the massive crusade he went on about all of this, the massive manifesto. Did a whole bait, claimed he was debating Jordan Peterson. Got a whole theme song made for it, a whole intro. You know, went on stream and saying he's going to blast have a lawsuit, get retractions from journalists. He's going to absolutely destroy Keffals, and you know he's going to donate money to Kiwi Farms and to help Josh Moon. And where are we now? Well, guys, Keffals said sorry to me, so actually you should all stroke the sheenus and show some fucking fealty. Brianna Wu and Keffals. Guys, don't you know the Dems have to win? The Dems have to win, guys. Vote blue no matter who. I'm with her. You'd never let the fucking DGGs forget this shit, bro. Honestly. Fucking disgusting. Yeah, Pokemon go to the polls, guys. I need your help because I can't do this alone. I started to go from me after being victimized by London police officers being a victim of a hate crime. I need to move immediately, recoup my losses, and build a legal fund to protect my rights. So, what are the stated goals here? Move immediately. I need to move immediately, not me and my partner. Recoup my losses. So that's just... So this is like a catch-all, isn't it? Recoup my losses. Okay, but I feel like we would need to have pricing of how much you actually lost in the time period that you were unable to stream. And to build a legal fund to protect my rights. And you never made a legal fund, and there is no effort being made. You sent one letter to the Human Rights Commission, whatever it was. I've been subject to emotional damages, financial damages, blatant violations of the Human Rights Act, and discrimination against me based on gender identity expression. I was also subject to unjust seizures and I affected my livelihood, but severely. So my policy I'm sitting and sweating. Okay, well, whatever. That was what we wanted. Yeah, it's crazy that he just forgave her after she called him a rapist and was trying to deplatform him, plus his cultural base Keffals now. She hasn't changed, just the size she grifts for. Yep, 100%. 100%.
Do you want to see guilt trippy? Because that wasn't even the worst. Hold on. This is I think it's called Mr. Snowman. It's a Beanie Baby that they sold at, I think, Sears or Zellers in like 1999 through 2001. And when I was a kid, I was given this in the children's hospital when I got pneumonia. And I kept it with me everywhere until like the age of 25 when I lost it in a move. And I talked about how I really wanted to get one again. And the last thing that Althea did was replace the snowman. So a precious childhood memory is now completely tainted with the most abusive person I have ever had the misfortune of having to spend my life with.
This person... Okay. I think my stream's buffering. Guys, is the stream buffering? Is it okay? How's it going? It's buffering. Anyway. This is just retarded. Like, who gives a fuck?
She found a replacement on eBay.
Yeah, get rid of the fucking snowman. And yeah, you had 100k and you couldn't buy your own fucking snowman? Really? You joking? You had 100k, dog. Snowman plushie.
And now every time I look at it, I don't remember a happy childhood. I remember the fucked up years that I had to spend with her. I also want to highlight the abusive language that she uses. In her most recent tweets, she says things like, so today I've been told both that I chose to be homeless, but then in tweets before she made this turn, she used the phrase hidden homelessness. Hidden homelessness. This is a very significant jump, optically, because saying homeless implies that you live on the street, and hidden homelessness means that you could be living with friends or family, but you have a roof over your head. She meant living with friends. Those are drastically different things.
After 30, I think it's okay to get rid of the snowman. Look, okay. If it could be, it really is. Just that when she was in hospital with you as a child was just really that big of a point. I'm sure it was a big point. I'm sure it was. It was that much of a formative experience. That the snowman really is that important. And then it would obviously be pretty kind of mindfucky if this person was genuinely abusive. But the thing is that when you haven't substantiated like any of the claims, it just comes off as like piling on some more like sort of emotional weight for the story. And because it is in such a an easily dismissed sort of infantile way, it obviously look really bad if people don't believe you already.
And she switched to saying homelessness in order to get more sympathy from people online. I'm not denying that she probably struggled. However, that's not my responsibility. We had separated, and it was not my job to support her through that separation when she betrayed me. When she hurt me so much, to the point when I was in rehab, I found out that I had post-traumatic stress disorder from before the swatting, before Kiwi Farms. I had post-traumatic stress disorder because I am a survivor of domestic abuse. And the reason why the swatting was so devastating is because I already have a tremendously bad startle response from having post-traumatic stress disorder. So getting jump scared with an assault rifle was fucking terrifying. And when I screamed, I thought they were going to pull the trigger and my life was going to end right there.
Again, the woken up with an assault rifle shit. Isn't this like literally just not true? I'm pretty sure she didn't get. Like, what wasn't? Didn't they knock? Didn't Altea meet the door? Wasn't Keffals still asleep and Altea met at the door? Yeah. Altea said that Altea answered the door, then walked in and woke Keffals up. Yeah. They pulled her blanket. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I also want to address that Althea accused me of economic exploitation in the form of economic abuse, saying that I trashed the apartment we shared and that I made her pay $1,200 in repairs. How is that not exploitative? The apartment was partially trashed because of the police searching for a handgun after the swatting. And also that I sometimes struggle to keep things tidy. I'm disabled. I have chronic pain issues. I have chronic fatigue. I give 100% to streaming, to making content. I'm good at it. I love my job, but sometimes I really struggle with everything that I have to do in my life. And she went into the relationship fatigue that I sometimes struggle to keep things tidy. I'm disabled. I have chronic pain issues. I have chronic fatigue. I give 100% to streaming, to making content. I'm good at it. I love my job, but sometimes I really struggle with everything that I have to do in my life. And she went into the relationship knowing that I'm disabled. When I was depressed after my dad died, instead of helping me to take care of my guinea pigs, she pressured me into putting 2 of them up for adoption, the pets that I had since they were babies, that I loved. Because she said it wasn't her responsibility to take care of them when we were partners, but it's somehow my responsibility to take care of her when I want nothing to do with her. All of our debts I had split down the middle. That's not economic exploitation if you have shared debts and you decide to split them 50-50. Yeah, it was $2,400. I paid the other half of it. I'm planning on getting guinea pigs again after I move.
Oh, really? I muted my fucking mic again? I'm retarded. I was saying, generally, it's not a fucking DGGL. It's a Wiggler, okay? It's way better. Animated. It's from Keffals community. Not your gay little autistic nerd community, bro. Okay?
So, I'm just putting this on the screen just to... I'm sure some people can take a lesson from this, but economic abuse is legally recognized as a form of domestic abuse, and is defined in the Domestic Abuse Act in the UK, involving the control of a partner or ex-partner's money and finances, as well as the things that money can buy, which I never controlled their money, I never controlled their finances. Splitting debts down the middle after a separation is not abuse. I'm not even going to go over this. You can pause the stream if this interests you, but I did not sabotage her income or access to money. I didn't restrict how she uses money or the things that she owns. I didn't exploit her economic situation. And now we're going to address what the title of the stream is about. I've hinted at it throughout the stream, but now we will actually talk about. This was what Althea posted in WAP Goblin's replies. These are text messages from me, February 24th, 2020.
Hello. Are you dimming again?
So, Althea tweeted, "Is it tame to tell someone if you want me to stop twisting your arm behind your back, play this game with me and be nice? Is that kind of attempted coercion normal?" And I'll just read it all out. "I told my mom I'm the mediator now. Since you called the cops, you'll talk to me. The reason this happened is that Althea's sister convinced Althea to lie to the police and say that I was threatening her, when I never did that. I was pissed. And it doesn't even talk about the context in which this happened. This is when we first broke up in 2020. And there were many reasons for why we broke up, but the instigating incident was that I was depressed. I was disassociating, lying naked on the bed. And without asking consent, with me very obviously not being enthusiastic, they just jumped on top of me and started fucking me. And I didn't have any energy. I didn't stop them. And they got mad at me afterwards for not being enthusiastic.
So was there... Okay, right, let's hear this full... One times. Fuck. We might be late to watching Metica, but we'll see.
In the UK, involving the control of a partner or ex-partner's money and finances, as well as the things that money can buy, which I never controlled their money. I never controlled their finances. Splitting debts down the middle after a separation is not abuse.
Jesus, her voice in one times.
I'm not even going to go over this. You can pause the stream if this interests you, but I did not.
Bro, I'm gone for a day and Kuihman goes gigapast. Right, what do you mean? The Wiggler's cool. You don't like Wigglers? You don't like Wigglers?
Sabotage her income or access to money. I didn't restrict how she uses money or the things that she owns. I didn't exploit her economic situation. And now we're going to address what the title of the stream is about.
Firsty's kind of got a point there, actually. Stylo is kind of a chaser, isn't he, when you think about it? When you think about it. When you really think about it.
I've hinted at it throughout the stream. But now we will actually talk about.
No, Stylo, I'm joking. Stylo, chill. Stylo, chill.
This was what Althea posted in Wop Goblin's replies. These are tech.
Stylo is not a chaser. Stylo is not a chaser. Stylo hates you trans women, okay? Trust me. Absolutely hates you. He seethes about you in private too. It's okay.
Messages from me, February 24th, 2020. So, Althea tweeted, "Is it tame to tell someone if you want me to stop twisting your arm behind your back, play this game with me and be nice? Is that kind of attempted coercion normal?" And I'll just read it all out. "I told my mom I'm the mediator now. Since you called the cops, you'll talk to me. The reason this happened is that Althea's sister convinced Althea to lie to the police and say that I was threatening her.
Nope,
when I never did that. I was pissed."
Okay, read it. "Is it tame to tell someone, if you want me to stop twisting your arm behind your back, play this game with me and be nice? Is that kind of version normal? Told my mom I'm a mediator now since she called the cops. You'll talk to me. Don't listen to her ever again or I will wreck your life. Give me my shit back on my terms and I will leave. I don't want your garbage, no fighting, just let me get it back. I'm gone. I fucking despise you. I want nothing to do with you. Stop twisting your arm behind your back. Play this game with me and be nice." Bro, what if, this is like how Keffals talks in private in every log I've seen though. Like the shit with who was that guy the other week? Oh fuck, what's that guy's name? Karl Marx. No, not Karl Marx. Karl Max. Right? Is that it? where she's like in private, she's like, "Stop being such a brat. Why don't you just learn to listen?"
And it doesn't even talk about the context in which this happened. This is when we first broke up in 2020. And there were many reasons for why we broke up, but the instigating incident was that I was depressed. I was disassociating, lying naked on the bed. And without asking consent, with me very obviously not being enthusiastic, they just jumped on top of me and started fucking me. And I didn't have any energy. I didn't stop them.
So yeah, there's like literally no corroborating evidence that this happened, no messages showing them talking about it. Saying they didn't say no. Okay, this is just a really bad accusation. Could be true. Not saying Keffals is lying. Could be true. Not saying Keffals is lying. Really bad accusation. No evidence. Just kind of a weak one.
And they got mad at me afterwards for not being enthusiastic.
I believe, yeah, Keffals is neoed. I believe so, yes.
So I started planning to leave, and then when they were out, I packed a bag and I fucked off. And then on July 1st, they sent me this message in the midst of the pandemic. And I got back together with them. I was living alone during the pandemic. I had to start doing online sex work to support myself. I was fucking miserable. I
had to. I just had to do it. So we've gone our separate ways. We've gone our ways and spent time apart, and we're both doing okay. I genuinely deeply hope you continue to do so. Bright, savvy mind. Is there anything we care about in here? Let me just skim it. Actually, no, I'll read it. I'm sure both have things very complex, but at root, I never lost a fundamental respect for you. I know my behaviour didn't always reflect that. I was a much worse person than I set out to be. I don't know if you know, but you were literally the first person I ever told I love you. There are a lot of milestones and big moments with you. It's no excuse, but what I mean is, I was probably a lot more naive, if not stupid, about love and lots of other things I came across, which was very arrogant at times, I'm sure. Which is why I'm so very deeply ashamed of how I acted in the last months of our relationship, to say nothing of the rest of it. Believe me, there are a lot of specific episodes I remember in close detail, which were never discussed, of just how plain shitty I could be at times. Those were very shameful choices on my part. I never wanted to be such an awful person in your life, such a deep negative influence, but I was, and my words can't take back all that time. I hope what I'm writing conveys that I do feel a great sense of remorse and disgust at myself. It really scared me to my core to watch myself play out the nasty dynamics I grew up with. I think your leaving was a blessing in disguise for me, because I really had to take a hard look in the mirror and reflect on who I am versus how I really act. That said, I am actually making serious efforts to do the work of myself, regular therapy and more deliberate self-care, etc., which I should probably have been doing for many years before. Again, not that sending out excuse for how I acted. I haven't talked to my sisters since the beginning of March. My therapist seems to agree this is good for my mental health. I think you know about the backed up unresolved trauma there. You were so right about many of those toxic traits I carried. I'm so sorry I didn't take you seriously when you said as much. I'm even more sorry that I ever hurt you. I feel like you should know. I don't think I will ever forget how serious it was for that ugliness to myself. I know you have every right for resentfulness towards me. I don't blame that, but I feel like I owe it to you for you to hear me say that. I came to realize how right you were. How much self-work I need to do. The fallout of my shitty behaviour really spelled it out for me. I never wanted to see hate between us, but I know I acted hatefully because I was weak. I know our love is dead, but I thought you should know I'm really striving to not be that hateful person, and to be better and do better. I know our love is dead, but I'm still thankful for what you taught me over the entire set. Why did I just fuck that up? Taught me everything to cost my entire relationship from beginning to end, even afterwards. Because you're someone I really deeply respect and admire, I very much wanted to say sorry. Okay, cool. Okay. This was from the first time they broke up in 2020, by the way. So this happened. This letter is 2 years before the swatting and move to Ireland, where they finally broke up. Because obviously the angle from Ortia's side is going to be that she was manipulated and that she felt like she was the problem, but she wasn't. The angle from Keffals' side is going to be, here's Ortia admitting that she was a shitty person. And it's just, there's no, they don't even describe actual behaviours in this letter. There's no actual incident that Ortia points to. It's like, yes, I raped you. Yes, I abused you here. Yes, this is something I did.
To die. And I thought giving them another chance, despite knowing how fucked up they are, was a preferable alternative to the life that I had without them. And I'll just read this out to you. So we've gone our ways and spent this time apart, and we're both doing okay. I genuinely and deeply hope you continue to do well.
Okay, you're going to read it way slower, so let's move past. This is literally what I wanted to avoid. That is literally what I wanted to avoid. That's
I hope that what I'm
trying to
writing
skip
can
it. Fuck's sake.
and doing Darvo even though they sexually assaulted me.
So you claim.
So after this, we got back together, and you know the rest of the story. Now it's all out there. I recapped basically everything that needs to be said. Like, I could keep going on, but it's basically a repeat of these same points about being owed things that she is not owed and trying to twist that into abuse when she has hurt me in so many unimaginable ways that have left such a scar on my psyche. I'm sorry, by the way, for the, I'm sorry, by the way, for the alarming stream title. What I said is true. This all happened. But I wanted people to know this. I wanted people to
So desperate to call it, I was raped.
know everything that happened. All of the context that Althea was leaving out. Because if this kept propagating, me not saying anything would be read as guilt and me trying to avoid this. If she has responded,
Is there anything big past this, or can we get ready for Metzger?
don't show me. I don't care what she has to say. I don't plan on pressing any charges. I want to move on with my life, and if she wants, like, there's nothing she can really get out of continuing to slander me. I would be worried for her and her future career prospects, honestly. Why she decided to do this when she has a sociology doctorate. She has a sociology doctorate, and she's doing shit like this online, which can easily be traced back to her. Yeah, oh no, I'll be safe. A pillow. Like, yeah, a bunch of people came in here to heckle me. I love my life. I actually enjoy my life every single day. I escaped all of this. And I never wanted to talk about it because I wanted to leave it behind. I miss a lot of my friends back in Canada. And maybe one day I'll go back, but I don't feel ready. And yeah, I do think it's also important to recognize, like, I wasn't perfect throughout all of this. But there was a very clear power dynamic where I was a disabled trans person living on social assistance in a relationship that was, for the majority of the relationship, it was less than a year that they came out as trans. The majority of the relationship, I was in a heterosexual relationship with a cis dude grad student with a TA job. There was a very clear power dynamic in place. And Althea tries to flip this around and say that, oh, well, you have like a platform now and you make a living streaming, so you have the power dynamic, but that's not how this played out. And the moment I had the resources to leave, I did, and it's because of this community. The fact that my streaming career took off, the fact that people supported me as much as they did, I was able to make enough money to get the fuck out of there. The moment I started seeing financial success, I started pushing back harder against all of this because I realized I had an actual way out. That I didn't just have to take it anymore. Like, I remembered my first year of streaming, while I was still in that relationship. And I lied and said that streaming the night shift would be good for my viewer growth, specifically to get away from her. And I was drinking every night, going live on Twitch to my like 12 to 100 viewers. I was miserable as fuck, but it was the one place I could be myself.
Jesus Christ, this is so fucking overwrought.
Now when I turn off the stream, I can also be myself. And the people around me love and appreciate me for it. They don't think I'm wrong or broken. They don't think I need to be fixed. They don't think I need to fundamentally change who I am. And things are good for it. It's been really hard kind of trying to relearn what that's like, being your own person. Oh yeah, so some of the YouTube chat reminds me of why I became a workaholic too, to get away from my toxic family. When I was in rehab, there was like two things that people said, like the hardest addictions to quit was nicotine and being a workaholic. Like people could like quit doing crack, meth, heroin, whatever, and they would still be chain smoking. And people could be completely straight edge, but they couldn't just stop being on the Sigma grind set. And honestly, like incredibly relatable. Especially in like the content grind, I constantly feel like everything's moving so fast. I need to like make sure I'm on topic with the current trends, and I'm releasing the content on time to maximize how many views I can get in the current trend. And it's exhausting. But what's been cool recently is that the content that I've been putting out is completely unique, not based on any trends. And I've seen the highest viewerships I ever have as a result of it because I'm actually producing something unique. And I think that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm just taking some time in this stream called I Was Raped to talk about how great my viewership is. Amazing. Thank you.
I mean, maybe we can do something unique that's less fucking sad, but I think I have a huge weight off my chest being able to actually just say all of this stuff. Oh,
the money doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, I mean, there's I do hope though that people who are watching this might take away some things they see in their own relationships, because it took me a while of being detached from everything to realize how bad it was. Like when you're in the middle of an abusive relationship and you're so used to being in an abusive relationship, it's hard to even tell it's an abusive relationship because that's your normal. Like I remember when I was just spending time for the first time around Ellen, I was breaking down into tears regularly because she was too nice, and I didn't understand people being nice without it being a hot and cold dynamic where it's like, oh, they're nice now, which means that they're going to be an absolute piece of shit later. Like I was so used to being in an abusive dynamic that I could not comprehend someone who genuinely just wants to see the best for you. I never saw my relationship as abusive until like 2 years later, telling stories about it at the time. I just thought it was junkie problems because we're both addicts. Shit gets so complicated. But I love you all. Thank you for sticking through this with me. I feel a lot better having discussed all this. I think I'm gonna. I don't want to keep this going any further. I'm gonna read off like the all the donos. I probably missed a bunch of super chats, and I'm really sorry. I was trying to power through this because this was a very hard subject to discuss. So I'll read the side chat donos and then.
Okay, I don't care about the donos. I don't think.